definitely is something that I think would
Hang on a
help with
second.
mindfulness.
Oh,
I know for me, I'm an anxious person. I have anxiety, and
Caitlin,
I
one
can
second.
get,
Caitlin, 1 second.
yeah.
It stopped recording for some reason, so I'm gonna have you I'm gonna have you restart. I don't know what happened, but I just looked up and it had stopped. So I'm gonna I'm gonna have because I want to make sure we get it correct. So I don't know what happened
Okay.
there.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Russell. Welcome to the Healing Light Podcast. I am a psychic intuitive who's been reading tarot cards for over 25 years. I'm also Reiki certified. Join me as I read cards, share intuitive messages, promote healing, and much, much more.
Caitlin Russell, and today's guest will be my good friend Amber. But before we get into it with the discussion about mindfulness and meditation, I just wanted to thank Allison from Paranormal Buzz Radio, our sponsor. I definitely thank you for listening in to the podcast. If you have any show ideas, have any feedback, have any ideas for who you think would be a good guest on the show, please email me at the healinglight1, that's the number one, healinglight1 at gmail.com. I also have a Facebook group and a Facebook page, The Healing Light NH, as in New Hampshire. You can message me on there. I am on Twitter, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, this new social media platform called Lemonade. I'm working on my Patreon. I'm also on something called Buy Me a Coffee, which is pretty cool. So I love coffee. If you want to buy me a coffee, just go ahead and download the app and you can do that. And my podcast can be found anywhere you find your podcast, Spotify, Apple. Just found it on Amazon. There you go. So I wanted, Amber, to welcome you to today's episode. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I've got so many plans coming up. Busy. We just finished our camping season, so I've got that going, doing my day job. But of course, I'm working on the Healing Light. So I'm working on my podcast, working on my website. So I'm hoping to work on that today so I can get it published. I started a blog on Pinterest. Goodness, I'm booking guests left and right. So I'm preparing for that. I want to tell everyone that I messaged this guy, Phil Webster, on Instagram, and he wrote this book, Letting Glow, Guide to Intuition, Spirituality, and Living Consciously. So I started reading the book, and so far he's got me hooked. It looks like it's a easy read and a short book, so it won't take me long. So anyway, if anyone's heard of him, buy his book and give it a read. Hopefully we'll have him on. And then, Amber, I was looking at my podcast and counting episodes, and I realized that I have recorded 9 episodes so far. You were a guest on 1, so this is my 10th, and you're my guest for the 10th. I feel like it's like our little anniversary. So
Yeah,
anyway,
it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, happy to have you. You are most welcome. So, what's going on with you? What's new? What's good?
I've been really busy. I haven't been too attentive with my healing vision stuff lately because I started a new job. I'm now a teacher. I teach American Sign Language at a high school in New Hampshire. And that's kind of taken over my life. But I feel like once I get into the groove of things, I'll be able to get back into my healing visions. And I feel like this job is going to help me with my gift.
Oh, that's great. I love teachers, and I love the fact that you are teaching a much needed service, American Sign Language. It's very important to the deaf community because you become more aware of people who need to be able to communicate, and it's a great tool to have in your toolbox. So, and I hope to sign up with you sometime so I can learn. I know a little bit of sign. I worked in human services for years, and so are my clients and residents who were nonverbal use sign language. So I knew a couple things, but I'd like to get more fluent in it. So
Absolutely.
I'll be looking to you.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great, and you're a great teacher anyway. So, and it gives me another opportunity to work with you, which I always love to do. So before we get into today's topics, I wanted to just say to you about your healing vision. I feel the same way. Life gets so busy, so it's okay that if you have to kind of put that on the back burner for now. You'll get there. So yeah, I told you you're gonna get there, and your business will be booming. So anyway, we're all we all have busy.
True. I'm looking forward to that though, because I would love for that to happen, for it to get really busy and be able to help more people.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I feel the same. I feel like you and I, we have this the gift we need to share and reach out to the community. So it's a good service, and it's needed. So
Absolutely.
So today's topic is mindfulness and meditation. So I was thinking about it, and I kind of asked, what's the difference between the two? And so I feel that mindfulness, when you feel like you're out of your body, out of your mind, it brings you to the present, and where meditation kind of brings you out of your head, helps clear away the cobwebs. So we were talking about mindfulness earlier. You said something about how you were hoping to use it with your students. Is that correct?
Well, I'm thinking about using it with my students because I noticed that they have a lot of anxiety. And I was thinking of maybe at like the beginning of my classes, getting them to just do some breathing exercises, just to calm down and to really be ready for class, because teenagers have anxiety. They won't admit that they have anxiety, that they're too cool for that, but they definitely have it. And I know that if I teach them a little bit about mindfulness and meditation, it could help them really be able to focus not just on my class, but in all of their classes, and it could help them in the future too. I was also a recovery coach. That was my last job before this. And we talked a lot about mindfulness and meditation, and my clients absolutely loved it. And it helped them out a lot, and it actually helped people a lot with their recovery.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I can see how that would be, especially with the teenagers. I know for me, I can speak from being a very anxious person, having anxiety. I'm not always really good at mindfulness, so but I'm learning more and more about it. So basically what mindfulness is, like I said earlier, what Amber and I talking about is you feel unfocused. And for me, I get these scenarios in my head of what I think is going to happen. And all these crazy things are just going through my head, and or my thoughts are flying back and forth, all up here in my head as I point to my head. And with mindfulness, like, okay, let's bring it back to reality. Let's look at what is right in front of us, that we can see, that we can hear, that we can touch, that we can smell. That let's take a moment and really acknowledge things. Plus, I think too, and I'm just as guilty of it. I don't know if you could say the same, Amber, but when you this day and age, when there's social media, everyone's on their phones. There's streaming 200 shows and kids and boyfriends and husband and partners and all that. That you can just kind of get into a routine. You may drive somewhere and like totally forget that you even drove. So mindfulness helps you bring yourself back and out to focus.
Yeah.
So, would you agree? Would you say that that's
Absolutely.
Am I on the right track? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I know I worked in human services for like almost 20 years, and there were days that I would drive from client to client house, and I wouldn't even remember how I got there.
Sorry, that's my dog.
That's all right.
Oh, be quiet, please.
Yeah, so I would definitely like lose myself. I would get so overwhelmed with dealing with the clients that I ended up having to learn how to be mindful of my breathing exercises, of just relaxing for a moment so that I didn't get so overwhelmed because.
Hold on just a second.
Okay.
Kala. Quiet. Loki, quiet.
Was one of them talking back to you? Because it sounded like they were talking back.
Come here. Let's do this.
Hey, Floki.
Don't mind me. This is just me and my 53-pound bulldog.
It's okay.
So I'm just going to keep him on my lap.
That works.
Keep him quiet, and hopefully Kala will be quiet as well. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, so mindfulness, I had to use it a lot in human services because if you don't, you get so overwhelmed. For me, with mindfulness, I did a lot of breathing exercises, which calm me down. Like it helped me not say something that I will regret.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing because I have no filter sometimes.
Me too. So when I learned how to be a little bit mindful of what I'm feeling and thinking, and just took those few seconds of breathing, taking in a deep breath, I ended up being able to communicate better with people.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's something to think about. So, I also found thing on the internet. I'm going to steal this. There's 6 steps to mindfully deal with difficult emotions. So the first step says, turn towards your emotions with acceptance. Become aware of the emotion and identify where you sense it in your body. 2, identify and label the emotion. Stay mindful, say to yourself, anger. This is anxiety. 3, accept your emotions. Don't deny the emotion. Acknowledge and accept that it is there. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
4, realize the impermanence of your emotion. Even if the emotion feels overwhelming, remember that it will pass. 5, inquire and investigate. Ask yourself, what triggered me? Why do I feel this way? And then 6, let go of the need to control your emotions. Be open to the outcome of your emotions and what So I thought that was really cool because I think when people get in the moment or anxious and you don't often recognize, hey, this is anxiety talking or this is anger talking. This is something that is beyond my control. But if you just stop and you acknowledge it, then you find that how you can deal with it.
Yeah.
And then if you let go of that control, because a lot of it for me is about control. So just let go of that control. Then you can take a deep breath and just go, okay, how do I deal with it? So I just thought that was
Absolutely.
really cool.
And dealing with people in general, you got to do stuff like that because dealing with people is hard.
It sure is. It absolutely is. Dealing with people is hard. I mean, I have to be very careful because in my day job, I talk to customers. I have to be mindful of what I'm saying to them, emails, all of that. So everything deserves like a second think. So I'm not perfect by any means, gotten better, but I could get a whole lot better, I think.
Me too.
And then just with dealing with stuff. So mindfulness, okay. So then what I think is the kind of opposite, but it also is meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to let people know that there's some apps out there, and I found like the top apps for meditation. I'm very fortunate. My company offers a free subscription to Calm. You have to pay for it. So I've used that, but it's a really great app. Headspace, which you do have to pay for, another great app. But I joined Healthy Minds program, which is a free app, and it like did an assessment on me, and so there's all sorts of activities that you can do through that app. So, and Amber, it really is kind of thanks to you that I started on my meditation journey because I was like, I tried to meditate, close my eyes, clear my mind, and of course, all these thoughts would immediately enter my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that, okay, the thought is there, acknowledge it, and then move on.
Right.
Exactly. And then you told me that even getting in the shower, I can meditate, which I've done too. Imagine water washing away my stress and
Right.
my anxiety. And
That's how I started meditating. I started meditating in the shower because I couldn't calm myself down enough to meditate. But being under the water helped and it relaxed me. So that's how I learned how to meditate.
yeah, and I thought too that, oh my gosh, I can't sit there for an hour and be still. I've got stuff to do. We're also busy. But then I realized maybe it was you or someone told me about guided meditation.
Yeah.
So I discovered that. So I go on YouTube.
Yeah.
I did a search and I put in 2-minute meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, boom, all these 2-minute meditations come up. And they're guided meditations. So I started out with 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I really
That's how I
felt,
started too.
oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
that's good to know.
Yeah, I started with guided meditation. I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks and meditate to her stuff. And it really relaxes me. And I cannot start my day without meditating. So
Really?
I have to be at work for 6:30 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
to be able to find a parking spot. I get up at 4 in the morning so that I can meditate and get my day started. Because if I don't meditate, I cannot function for the rest of the day.
Wow. So you've gotten to that point where it's almost like a self-care, like it's a need for you.
Absolutely, yes.
It's part of your routine. So I did start getting up a half an hour earlier to get my day going.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use that time, like you said, when my coffee's brewing and before I get floaky at 6:30. Then I'm going to sit there and meditate. So I use it to get answers from spirit guides, any sort of inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes just to calm me down. I've moved on to 5-minute meditations,
Mm-hmm.
and actually it goes, I think I can get up to like 15 or 20 or 30 or half an hour,
Well,
an hour.
I only do 10-minute meditations in the morning.
Oh, really?
If I feel like I need more in the afternoon after work, I'll do a 15-minute or a half-hour one. But in the morning, I just do a 10-minute one because I got things I got to do. But it helped me to be able to start my day.
Yeah, it's a good thought.
Mm-hmm. I also listen. I listen to Tony Stockwell too. He does a lot of good meditations.
Okay, I'll have to look him up.
Yeah.
I think you told me about him before.
Yeah, he's a psychic medium. He's a psychic
Okay.
medium over in England. He's from England.
Oh, okay. I think even being out, and you're big on this, I know, being out in nature and just
Absolutely.
stopping,
Mm-hmm.
being quiet and listening to the sounds,
Mm-hmm.
your environment and the trees.
It's so funny because I talk to my friends, and during the nice weather seasons, I tried to go for a walk every day. Can you still see me?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I try to go for a walk every day. And when I go for my walk, it's funny because my friends say to me, "Oh, do you listen to music? Do you do this? Do you do that?" No, I listen to nature because it calms me down. You know, I have the whole rest of the afternoon or whatever to listen to music.
Yeah.
I can take a half hour from my day to just listen to nature.
You know, that's a good way of thinking of it. I'm going to have to try that. Just listen, because I know I've done that before. It's just sit still and you just listen to what's around you.
Well, camping. When you go camping, don't you listen to nature? Don't you get to relax?
I do. I get actually very quiet camping. You know, I want to pay attention to my friends and family, laugh and have a good time. So the phone gets put away a lot. And just listen to the nature and just enjoy the fresh air.
Yeah.
And all of that. So that's a form of meditation as well.
Absolutely. And they have walking meditation. So
okay.
You can count your steps, and it helps you to relax, and it helps you connect with nature.
Okay, that's good.
You can look that up. You can look it up on YouTube to learn more about it. I also like to go to the ocean and ground myself and put my feet in the water, and it's like a form of cleansing.
Oh wow! Okay, that's a good way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you do some hobbies too. There are people who crochet, who knit, who do wood carvings.
I have people who do the diamond art, and they say that when they do diamond art, it's meditation for them. It's so calming, and they're just kind of like zoning out. I know people who, I have friends who say to me, I can't meditate, I can't sit still. And I'm like, so what do you do when you go fishing? Oh, well, I'm sitting still and just relaxing. I'm like, that's your meditation.
Mm. Yeah,
We
so
don't have to just sit there and listen to a guided meditation or not listen to anything. Sometimes people have to do something. If you got to do something, go for a walk in nature, go to the beach and ground yourself. Do your favorite hobby, and that will help you calm yourself and learn how to meditate.
those are all great tips and ideas. Great. I'm going to use some of them. I know for me, I'm not really a crafty person, but I have my bullet journals that I plan every year.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love to do is decorate it for the coming year. Like I have my supplies for 2024. So I think I'll do that today. I need to take out what I have and kind of plan it out. But planning it out, I use something called washi tape, stickers. I'm in a bullet journal group, and they told me get these markers, these beautiful, colorful markers. There's all sorts of ways you can decorate it. So when I do that, I kind of go into like a zone where I'm so involved in what I'm doing that time just kind of seems to slip by, and it's very relaxing. So
I need to get into more crafty stuff. I haven't crafted in years. It doesn't calm me for some reason. It stresses me out.
I tried crochet, forget it, could not do it. I don't know. I'm left-handed, and I know my grandmother, she taught me when I was little. She started teaching me crochet, and she even though she's right-handed, I'm left-handed, she still found a way to teach me. So then I put it away for years. So a few years back, I tried to pick it up again, and I don't know. I just could not get it. I tried. I don't know about knitting. I've heard knitting is a little bit better, maybe less complicated. I don't know. But I'm not. I tried different crafts, and I don't know. It's just.
Me either. You know what I'm good at? I'm good at baking.
Are you? That's a good talent to have.
Right. It's not good for your weight, but that kind of puts me in a calm, relaxing state when I'm baking for people.
Well, then that's good for you then. I mean, you can bake for other people, or you can find delicious yet healthy treats you can bake for people. I'm sure you can do that. I'm always on Pinterest looking for recipes.
Mm-hmm.
And being a baker, that's a really good, that's a special talent to have. Not everyone can bake. I can't bake.
No.
Why? No. With cooking, and I've cooked before. I make a great homemade spaghetti sauce, and for that, you can just throw ingredients in because you put in like a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of oregano. If you need to add it, you can just sprinkle more on. But with baking, you have to be pretty precise in baking. There is no.
Very true. Yeah.
And this is a cup of flour. You can't get by with a half a cup. You have to measure that shit out. So.
Absolutely. But I find when I'm doing that, it makes me feel better. It calms me down. And even the smell of what I'm baking calms me down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking too as I pet my bulldog in my lap and he's snoring and panting away. The being with my animals is very calming for me as well. When I'm petting my cat, Sophie Judith, I think that's a form of meditation as well.
Absolutely. So when I do my psychic mediumship stuff, my cat named Nalani, he likes to jump up on my lap because he knows what I'm getting ready to do, like when I'm meditating and getting ready to give somebody a reading. The entire time I'm giving somebody a reading, he's on my lap and I'm petting him, and it helps me with my connection.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah. I know for me that meditation and mindfulness helps in my readings as well, because before I do a reading, I use, about Florida water. I told you about Florida
Yeah.
water, so I sprinkle some Florida water on.
Mm-hmm.
I use my selenite wand to bring positive energy. I sit quietly with some incense and I meditate, just even if it's for a minute or two before a reading, and I really find that it helps me connect. From doing a tarot reading, it helps me connect to the person I'm reading for, and if I'm doing mediumship reading, it really helps me connect to spirit. It really does. And then you have to, when you're doing readings, you have to be mindful, because again, you have to concentrate on that other person. You have to tune into their energy. Same thing with Reiki. People receiving Reiki might consider that a form of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
When you're giving Reiki to other people, then you have to be mindful of that. So
Right. I love Reiki. I mean, Reiki has absolutely helped me with my mindfulness and my meditation.
yeah, I can see how it would. Yeah.
Yeah, I do it every day. I send Reiki to myself every day. I send Reiki to you every day.
Yes, and I know you've really helped me with that. Really does help. Again, I need to do it more on myself. So that's going to be, I have to get into a routine, right? So I am all about my routine. So I'm developing a new routine where I told you that I meditate and I try to write in my journal every day. Well, what that's going to include now is just sending Reiki to myself and to you. And you can also send Reiki to any part of the world that might need it,
Mm-hmm.
crisis. Um, so yeah, that's a
So,
great benefit
so
as
how do
well.
you? What do you think about this though? Because somebody who was, I considered a teacher of Reiki to me, told me that in order to send somebody Reiki, you need to get permission from them, right?
Well,
I don't think
yeah.
I don't think that's necessary. I view Reiki as like a form of prayer. And when we pray for people, do we ask permission or do we just pray? You know?
Well, I think right. That's a good question. So, I'm gonna have our friend Karen on my episodes, and our topic is going to be ethics in our community. So you have to ask yourself what's ethical. So um, I think when I'm in person with somebody, I will ask, because
Right.
not everyone has heard about it, or people think they know about it. They think, oh my God, she's a religious nut or whatever. It's not
Right.
religion at all.
Recently, I asked a friend, she was really, really sick, and I said, do you mind if I send you Reiki? And she's very religious, right? And she said, I heard that it's not a religious thing, so please don't do it. And I so wanted to take the time and explain to her what Reiki was. I mean, in the Catholic religion, they do Reiki. They do Reiki in hospitals to help people recover. It's not anything against religion. A lot of religions support Reiki. If you go to, what do they call them, where people go to die? Oh my goodness, my mind went blank.
Hospice.
Yeah, if you go to hospice, they offer Reiki there. and that's a very religious place. It's a very spiritual place. So people need to get more of an understanding and more education on Reiki to know that it's nothing bad. It's all love. It's pure love is what it is.
Yeah, and I just had Melody Larson on from Melody's Reiki Healing. She was my last guest on the 5th. Because I feel I've talked about Reiki. I did on one of my first podcasts what Reiki is. But I really wanted to talk about it again. I just feel like the message needs to get out there that it's a healing modality, and that I think a lot of people fear what they don't understand. So I want people to understand more about what we do and how it can benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's really important to get the message out there. I think there's a lot of misinterpretations of what we do anyway, about what psychic mediums do, what healers do. And I don't know why. It's just why people think I think it's just these old preconceived notions. And unfortunately for me, I think a lot of it, all it takes is one person to do an unethical thing.
Yeah.
And it just ruins it for the rest of us who are doing
Absolutely.
things
Yep.
ethical. Like these psychic hotlines that you call and you pay so much a minute, and they're not psychics. They're trained to try to listen to you to show empathy, but to get your money. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That just it upsets me, because it just makes me feel like that puts a ding into what we do. But
yeah, it does.
I know for me, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and all I can do is just offer honesty and empathy, and just show kindness to people. And I think that'll do. So
That's all we can do. I mean, just be a decent human.
Yep, agreed. So anything else that you can think of that people want to know about mindfulness and meditation? I think we learned a lot today.
I think we talked a lot about it, and the next step is for them to do their research. And how I learned a lot about it was looking it up on YouTube.
Yep. And Pinterest is how I learned it too.
And getting a bunch of mentors, getting a bunch of people to teach me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think that's about our time. I don't know how long we've been talking. It feels like we've been talking for a while.
Yeah, we have.
So tell us all again how people can reach you for readings or Reiki.
I have Healing Visions on Facebook, and you can message me on there, and you can friend request me, and I'll accept you, and we can set up appointments there.
All right, great. And are you doing in-person readings?
I can if they want to, but people are still stuck in the COVID thing where they want to do online stuff a lot. But I can meet people in person if they really want to.
Okay. I for now I'm just doing virtual until I want to get my website up. It's really hard for me because I live way out in the boonies. I'd like to have my my office set up better so people could come to my office and for a Reiki session or a reading, but that's okay. I can go pretty much within, I would say, 30 miles, which is for me be like within Concord, Manchester, out that way.
Yeah.
Any more than that, it's a little bit extra for me, so we'd have to make special arrangements for that. So I'm also looking to get back into doing like galleries. So
Yeah, me too.
I'd love,
Yeah.
and I'd love to do a gallery with you at some point. We did one at your apartment one time.
Yeah, we should do that again. We should try to do it like every so many months.
Yeah, I agree. We should absolutely do that because I love that experience, and I really feel that you and I worked well together, and we made some really great connections.
Yes, we do.
So that'll be all on my website, and along with teaching Reiki and tuning people to Reiki and all that. So thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I wish you all a good day. Thank you again, Allison. Thank you to Paranormal Buzz Radio. And I'll wish everyone a great day. And please listen.